I'm a millennial woman who watched Bravo. Shocking. Shocking. Like,
Yeah.
I'm their target demographic.
She came into the group how?
Sheena.
As a fan.
Oh, you're gonna give us the last few episodes to deal with that? I was like, we should have started with that. Can we have another session tomorrow about that one?
You're a fan, bitch. If the shoe fits.
Congratulations on forever.
Thank you.
Right here.
Dare she?
I still watch Bravo. I'm still a fan.
I just think that they just don't like each other. So anything they can.
But
and,
they were
you
so
know,
close.
We were very, very close in years past. When I met her, she was dating this guy who was Lebanese, and I found out that she was fluent in sign language. And I was like, oh my God, I'm Lebanese and I'm fluent in sign language and like, we should be friends. Like, you kind of came into my life and you're like such a me kind of a girl. Who cares if she watched Bravo? Who cares if she watched Vanderpump Rules? Like, it didn't seem like a big deal to me. Right up until we started filming The Valley season 1. Like, I remember watching back an episode about my ex-boyfriend that Jax brought.
See your skills. I'm the worst. I'd rather play basketball, but whatever for you.
And she just sat there and badmouthed me.
I had to put up a boundary with Kristen because her relationship with Alex was so up and down and back and forth that it was making my head spin.
So it was like, okay, this is the game we're gonna play.
She wants to call you a fan and like try to use that against you now, yet when you were there for her every day when she was in this toxic relationship and going through a breakup, she didn't care that you were a fan. She cared that you were one of her best friends.
And it's not like she just found out I watched the show before we became friends. Like, I've always been transparent about that, mostly because there's a lot of people who hang around you guys in this group and stuff who are like, Vanderpump Rules. I've never heard of her. What is that?
Michelle's
Oh
the only
my
one where
goodness.
it's like, you know,
she's
genuine.
I've always been like, yeah, I was a fan. Did I ever think it was gonna flourish into a friendship that almost 9 years later we're sitting here together? No, but I'm so happy it did.
This wasn't your master plan, Janet?
If this is my master plan, I'm f***ing good.
You executed.
She self-admittedly knew that Sheena was at the Mondrian at a pool party, went there to be like, oh, I'm at a pool party because she's from Ohio and she's like, loves Bravo.
It's not like she slid in my DMs and sought me and was like stalking me. It was right after there was the cheating rumor about Rob. He was out of town when that happened. I had just picked him up and he was like, look, my business partner's at the Mondrian. Like, you wanna just go get drunk today and like not really deal with our shit? And I was just like, okay, sure, pool party, like let's go. She came up to me, recognized me, but also we had a mutual friend. So it wasn't like she was a complete stranger.
Sheena being Sheena, brought her into the flock and then, you know, exchanged numbers and then, you know, the rest is history.
We just hit it off, did some shots, and took about 200 photos on her friend's camera.
My best friend from home was with me, and it was after my ex and I had lived in LA together. We went home. We realized, like, we had been in marriage counseling for a year. We realized, like, this is over. I was like, I'm going back to LA. It was funny because, like, I hadn't told a lot of my friends and family back home. I hadn't told my mom yet that I was getting divorced or that I even had marital problems. And Sheena was one of the first people outside of my best friend from home that I said the words, like, I'm getting divorced out loud to. And I was like, I know you got divorced, like, at a young age, and, you know, am I gonna be okay? What's gonna happen? My birthday came up a month later. She was like, oh, we should, like, go to Disneyland. I'm like, great. She took me to Disneyland. She treated me to everything. She gave me a big button that says, it's my birthday.
Aww.
You didn't have to do that for me. And, you know, you showed me your heart from day one. And I was like, this is my person.
I think that fans could become your friends, I'm sure. It's possible. But I don't think she came here like that was her idea.
I'm the one who put Janet's name on the list to be on The Valley. Like, Janet didn't come to me wanting to be on The Valley.
Nor was she ever thirsty to be on Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
I don't think she moved with the intention of being on a show, but maybe to be around that environment, and then it led to further opportunities to be on camera, and then she ran with them. And I have also auditioned for shows and other stuff. So do I want to be on if you're gonna ask me to be on you want to cast, absolutely, like, who wouldn't do that? But also, I didn't meet Brittany on the side of the street and then, or go to SUR and then become friends with Sheena. It is a vastly different how I fell into this.
I kind of love the narrative though. Like, yeah.
She's
like,
my #1 fan.
Let's do it. I always will be your #1 fan. I always say, like, if I write a memoir, it's gonna be called I Owe My Life to Sheena Shea. Like, maybe it'll be big fan. I owe my life to Sheena Shea.
Brittany told you Luke and Kristen's engagement news.
Oh my God, I cannot believe I did that.
Big mistake. Hey, got some news. What? Guess who got engaged? Doute.
What?
Doute and Luke got engaged.
Kristen Doute?
Off the market.
So mad at myself.
It's not like he just said, hey, congratulations, and left it alone. It was like, congratulations. I'm like, how did you, what do you mean? Like, how do you know? And he's like, oh, everyone knows. It's online. Like, it's everywhere. Okay, and it wasn't.
He lied like he does. He makes up half the stuff that ever comes out of his mouth.
Right.
And said, it was on the news, that's how I know. And he said, I didn't want to throw Brittany under the bus. That's how I heard from it. It's like, you just sent her into a spiral.
That was the first text that I woke up to.
Yeah, not cool.
I literally hadn't even texted my mom, my sister, my brother, like anyone yet.
Kristen likes to make a mountain out of a... But I get it. I understand. I get it. I made a mistake, and I apologize. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Jax told the boys chat with 30 random dudes.
Sure did.
Immediately.
The boys chat is going crazy. Jax wants to tell everybody.
People that I didn't even know were like sounding off, being like, well, that's not gonna last.
It won't last 6 months. Pray for Luke. Or there was probably a dozen messages,
Vicious
stuff like that.
Because you're all sad and single, or you're married and miserable, and I feel bad for your wives.
Everybody knows I have a big mouth. You tell me something, you know it's going to be told, so it's almost kind of your fault. No, just kidding.
I'm actually really good at not telling people's business. Like,
No, you're
really
very good at it. You're a vault.
So I don't know why I did that.
But everyone knows
Awful.
that, like, you only tell Jax something if you actually want everyone to find out.
I was so mad at myself for doing that. I was like about to cry myself.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
I felt so bad.
I'm not mad at Brittany. It wasn't purposeful. It wasn't malicious. It was just like very thoughtless. So it was annoying, but I wasn't like upset with her.
It honestly blew my mind, and I was very mad at her. Ma'am. Ma'am.
I already know.
Do I need to ream you a new one?
Yes.
Good, because I'm pissed. This is the biggest day in Kristen's life right now. I was furious. I was texting and calling people and being like, who the told her? Or I need to stop saying so you guys don't have to censor it. Or,
Peacock, baby.
Peacock!
Oh, wait, no, I'm getting a note. This is still censored.
Like, he did something to Janet too, like their pregnancy. I think that like he was in the car with me whenever she told me that Cameron was born, and he told the group chat. He did something like that. I
Then
forget
remember
what it
how
was.
mad he got at Schwartzy when Schwartzy accidentally revealed
Cruz's name? Yeah.
And Schwartzy felt so horrible. And you know that was like not his intent at all.
And mine, same with me. Like, I really did not mean to do that. I don't know what I was thinking.
We all make mistakes. He announced my son's name. I announced we got married. It was a mistake. I'm sorry.
When I did talk to Brittany, I believe genuinely it was a slip up, just not thinking about it, which, you know, justified me not cluing her into the engagement.
Just proposed to Kristen.
What?
Jeez, oh peace, man.
I feel like we're in this stage for some reason with our friends where it's like, what else can we get mad at Nia and Daniel for?
Oh, yeah, where's Danny and Nia? Where they at? Taking a nap again? Sleeping?
Our luau, though?
It was.
So why do they get to have an opinion?
Oh, like, that's the thing to me. I'm like, it has literally nothing to do with us, so why is it bothering you that we're late? Like, I do not understand.
One, because I had to blow up balloons in a hot-ass room, sweating. So I was already annoyed. Didn't get the shower. So I was just upset that, like, these people who are enjoying this beautiful day on a boat are not even here and they're late.
It wasn't about them personally. I think it was more of like a, why are we having to do this and these people aren't having to do this type situation. And I was just having a day.
Well, if nobody is gonna be like held accountable to like do things, I'm gonna leave.
I feel that.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop this right now.
Stop what?
This.
Anytime me and Jasmine get going, we just like rally each other up.
I was upset. I didn't get the shower. I was hot. I was pissed. I had to blow these damn balloons. We didn't have a pump. We didn't have no pump, okay? So you know how hard it is to blow a balloon, just by yourself? That is hard, okay? So I was really upset and just angry, and I was like, you know what? Screw this. Why the hell are they rolling up in here late?
I mean, how dare we have a chance to shower after the boat before the luau when you guys have all been having time to get ready, shower, do what you need to do. We've been on a boat for 6 hours and literally ran to our rooms to shower, got ready as quickly as possible, and made it down there.
They're showing up after Kristen and Luke.
Roll the tape.
Here they are.
Trust me, Zach. Why would I just get angry out of nowhere?
We had sweaty, hot boat clothes on. We were sweaty. It was we didn't even shower. We just like threw ourselves together. We were in our room total for 21 minutes.
I want to see the timestamps on all of this, okay? Because my recollection was when I told Jasmine and Melissa, hey, this is actually an engagement. Also, could you help me do some stuff? And within 10 minutes of them helping, they were like, more so mad about it being hot and complaining. And then they were like, we still have to get ready. Okay, we'll be back. We have to get ready. And then left and had an hour and a half.
It was not an hour and a half.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
I'm just saying
because you were
need to
getting
look at the
rushed.
timestamps.
You were getting
Where are the
rushed.
You might have been rushed.
I don't care
but
about
you
those
had an hour and a half.
timestamps.
That's why I was like, why are you so mad about this? Why you gotta
Trust
leave
me, I get
within
ready
10
fast.
minutes?
It was not an hour.
Okay.
We are in a position to where we have more on our plate. Sleep deprivation and raising 3 children. There seems to be like zero, like, give them a break every now and again if they're 5 minutes late, if they wanted to go shower and get the fish stink off of them before we're at a luau together.
Now, if Kristen and Luke were there first, okay, I understand. But in my recollection, within 5 to 8 minutes, I'm just gonna go, them came, which is an understandable and reasonable amount of time when they, had just done that all day on a boat and they wanted to get ready for the thing. Now, I want to talk about
What
how
they
much
do on a
time.
boat?
Okay, but I want
What
to
they
talk about
what they do on the boat? You said all the things they had to do on the boat. What they had to do? Sit, take a
be
video.
there.
Oh, okay.
So they couldn't
lot of
get
work.
ready.
A lot of work.
But I get it. But here's the thing. I'm not complaining, and I had 0 minutes to
Listen,
get ready.
I
I'm over
get
here
that.
sweating profusely, like jumped in the shower.
But you
like,
took that
literally
job
did
on.
That.
You took that job on yourself.
I did, and
so
guess what?
You can't
But I'm
complain
fine
too
with
hard.
it.
Okay.
But see, we could fight and move on.
Yes, of course.
You
Listen.
looked pretty.
Oh, I didn't say I didn't look good. I said I didn't feel good.
You and Zack have both expressed this feeling that Brittany holds you and Zack to a standard that she doesn't hold Janet to.
I do feel that way. I don't need you to be like my bodyguard. You were like, Janet, come on.
Well,
Yeah,
because
if
I didn't want her.
said a word
I
about
didn't want her
Janet,
yelling at you.
Yeah, but you didn't tell her. It's exactly how Zack feels too. She sucks.
I hate that she thinks that because I love Kristen so much and she's such a good friend to me. I think I treat them both very the same.
Brittany does not concern herself over some of the really damaging stuff that Janet says.
She's doing the dirty work. Janet, come on.
Where if Zack or I were to do the same thing, we just couldn't. We wouldn't. It just would never even get that far because Brittany would step in and do something about it.
I just think I had too much going on where maybe I should have stuck up for her more in certain situations, but I feel like everybody could say that, Like, I apologize, and I said I would try to do better. I think it is just, this summer was just a lot for me.
We're held to this different standard, but it's been this way for a while. Even with Janet, you're like, oh, poor Janet, like blah, blah, blah. Heaven forbid I do or say or step out of line in any way, I'm either held to this different standard or that you don't specifically have my back in the moment. And the common denominator was when Janet came into the fold of Brittany's life. The thing is, they're little things, but they add up.
You'll complain to Brittany about something, but she'll be like, Zax, just shut up, stop
Don't say
complaining
that,
about it.
but then
if
won't say
Janet
that.
does it to her, I think she just let Janet just go off on Zack and doesn't say, Janet, stop, don't do that.
Brittany knows I'm here forever. I'm the forever friend. So, like, if she needs to distance herself for a second or whatever to be able to deal with this other friend, she just will shut it down for me and not for her. And, like, there's a different standard.
I always try to make things better for everybody. I feel like I try to smooth things out and calm people down. I feel like that's better role for me than trying to get in the middle of everybody's fights. I'm just not.
Well, because you're in a losing position. If
Yeah.
you defend Kristen in that situation, Janet's mad and vice versa.
But Janet doesn't sit around and just trash Kristen all the time. She knows that that's my good friend, so that doesn't really happen.
There have been times where Brittany literally has told me, oh, well, Janet was saying this and that in this one group chat, stuff about me. And Brittany's like, but I didn't engage. I'm like, but why does she feel comfortable talking to you like that? I would never go to Brittany and talk about Janet because I think it's inappropriate.
I don't go to Brittany and put my friendship with Janet onto Brittany the way Janet puts our friendship onto Brittany. So she's constantly like, oh, Zack did this, blah, blah, blah. You can't talk to you know, you need to stop being his friend, or like, oh, can you believe he did this? And she'll put that onto Brittany, whereas I would never do that to Brittany.
It's hard because I do wish Brittany would have more of a say and be less Switzerland sometimes. But I try to never talk about Zack or Kristen with Brittany because I know that's just gonna make her uncomfortable and her stressed. And I try not to think about either of them when I'm not right in front of them. I know, like Brittany said to me this week, Kristen talks about you to me all the time, and it's really exhausting. And Kristen says, you always defend Janet when I talk about her, but I know when she talks about me, you don't defend me. And Brittany said to her, Janet doesn't talk to me about you. And Brittany doesn't need added stress right now from that anyway, so I try not to talk about either of them with Brittany.
I've seen it.
Brittany's past birthday, she invited me and Janet got mad and then didn't come to the birthday because I was there. And all the posts that she had done for Brittany on Instagram, she took down. She's putting this on Brittany. So it's just not fair.
And it stresses Brittany out. Let Brittany be friends with who she wants to be friends with.
I just don't know how to like make everybody happy all the time like I want.